G'day everyone, and welcome back to the Franco Prio Show. We're just going to be having a little bit of a chat today about the different forms of carpet cleaning, because there's all different types of things that we can do, and it really depends on the situation that you're finding yourself in as to which way is the right way to do it. Just having one way, it really limits your scope. So we're going to have a bit of a discussion about that so you can learn a bit more and be a bit more advised in when you need to have your carpets cleaned. Here we are again with having a bit of a chat with Mr. Worthington, who's going to be... You
say that, I look around for my dad.
What, he's not here?
No. Oh, about different types of carpet cleaning.
Yes, that's what we're going to have a bit of a chat about, because people don't realise that there are quite a few different forms of carpet cleaning, and it's not just one system alone that does absolutely everything. So you need to be able to mix and match as you need, depending on the given situation.
Because I must admit, Franco, you go into our favourite store, Bunnings, which is Myers for men, and
it's a bit like that.
Mind you, there's more women in there now than men.
True.
Noticed. But they've got their carpet cleaning machine there for hire.
Yep, absolutely.
And it's like you just go, well, that is a carpet cleaning machine.
And it is, and it can do a job quite effectively if you know how to use it, and that's the big if.
Right.
The way they tell you how to use it is a methodology that dates back around about 30 to 40 years, and it's just changed massively since then. It's just they put the detergent into the water in the tank of the machine, and use that to flush the carpet out. And I did that when I first started 30 years ago, but things have changed massively since then. We don't do that at all because that leaves residues behind the carpet, detergent residues which are unwanted. So yeah, it kind of works. It makes the carpet look good temporarily.
Yeah. The talking about that then, because I'm sure a few people have seen the different machines, not even from Bunnings, but you can buy them at the shops and so forth where they use that. But you call it they wash it out with detergent. But you said there's a methodology that you guys use, and I suppose the most common one most people would know, and that's hot water extraction.
Or it's more commonly known as steam cleaning. It's not really the right technical term because we don't use steam.
Right.
Okay, steam's not that efficient a cleaner. No matter what people say, steam just doesn't do it.
Oh.
You do need some sort of detergent in there, some surfactancy to break down the oils. Heat alone doesn't break them down. It will make it look cleaner temporarily. Okay, but it's not going to be a real effective clean to remove that soil, because if you steam it, where's the dirt going?
Well, I wouldn't think it was going anywhere.
Yeah, I was going to say there's lots of crickets chirping in the background just then. So steaming it will make it look better, but if there's no soil extraction happening, how can you expect there to be a clean carpet left behind? That soil has got to go somewhere. Now with your steam cleaning, the reason it's called steam cleaning is when it comes out under pressure, it sprays out a bit of a mist. And the hotter the water is, the more mist there is coming off it because of the heat. Yeah. So it looks like steam, but it's hot water extraction.
Hot water extraction.
So it's still hot water. We can't pump in hot water to a house at 100 degrees C. Yeah. And it's over 100 degrees C that you get steam. So that's just not feasible.
Okay. Oh, okay. So what temperature, if someone's asking, what temperature is the water then?
Okay, well, for instance, my machine, at the machine itself, it's running at about 120 to 130 degrees.
Right.
Centigrade.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's seriously hot.
That.
Okay, and it can only achieve that pressure because, that temperature rather, because it's under pressure. You raise the pressure of the water, you can raise the boiling point. Otherwise, it would be steam within the lines. I wouldn't be pumping anything anywhere.
Yeah.
So, but by the time it's gone through the hoses from the machine to the actual floor tool that I'm using, it loses around about 10 to 15 degrees per every length, and in the average house we use 2 lengths of hose. So you've already dropped around 20 to 30 degrees by the time it hits the floor.
Right.
Okay, or hits the wand, I should say.
Yes.
But then that little gap between the jet and the floor, it loses, generally speaking, about another 10 to 20 degrees depending on atmospheric conditions.
Just in that little gap?
That little gap there. Yeah, it makes a huge impact. And that's why the modern ones these days, you see the jets are dropping lower and lower. The old jets used to sit quite high off the ground. The new ones are about this high off the ground, and with the latest technology that we've got now, with the extraction tools we've got now, they're actually sitting just above the surface of the carpet and in an enclosed head, so it retains all the heat from the hose into the carpet. So that's running at probably around about the 75, 80 degrees at least on the carpet. Your traditional one, if you're getting to 60 to 70 degrees, you're doing well. So it's not steam cleaning, it's hot water extraction.
It's hot water extraction. And you said in the hot water extraction, so you still have to put a chemical with that to help break down the oils and the greases.
That's right. So in your ones that you go and hire, like I said, you throw everything into the machine and it does it all in one hit. And that's the old school way of doing it. These days what we do is we actually pre-spray a detergent onto the carpet to help break down those soils and oils before extraction. Okay, so and in really extreme cases when you've got heavily impacted carpets, there's a lot of soiling on there. We also do some form of agitation on the carpet to scrub that soil off the fibre and hold it in suspension into that detergent we sprayed onto the carpet, so that we can then come and rinse that out. And once again, with that rinse water, it's not just plain water. A lot of people tell you, oh, it's just water. You don't want any residues left in your carpet. And that's kind of true, but the problem is that you can't always get to the end of the carpet, say within the 10 minutes time frame that you're really given to work in, a 10 to 15 minute time frame. So what happens is some of those oils start to drop out of suspension and rebond onto the fibre. So we use rinsing and conditioning agents. Have that little bit of surfactancy to blast that oil back off the fibre and leaves a cleaner result. Even though we're using it, adding an extra chemical, I mean, it's only mixed at about 1 to 1,000, so it's a minimal amount. But it gives you a cleaner, more satisfactory result, which has a better long-term result as well.
In comparison, one thing I was just thinking about then, your domestic ones that you can buy at the different shops and you can hire, what would be the temperature coming out of them? Do they heat it up the same way?
Well, if you're getting it out of your hot water system at home, it's maybe at 60 degrees by the time you get it out of the tap, and then you've got to pour it into the machine, so it's losing a bit more temperature, and then it's sitting in the machine, losing temperature. So you're getting lukewarm water onto the carpet, you're not getting hot water.
You're not getting hot water.
And you need that heat to mobilise the oils. Everybody knows that you get a dollop of butter into a pan.
Yes.
It's nice, big, thick blob until it gets heat onto it and it goes running. That's exactly what we're doing when we're using heat to clean.
Okay. So with that type of cleaning, hot water extraction, I'm sure people have seen those adverts around, and everyone's going, oh, steam cleaning as they plaster everywhere and make it sound like it's everything.
Yeah.
But it's not the be-all.
No, it isn't. And as I said, there are given situations where sometimes it actually works against you. Okay, particularly in a commercial application, there are certain types of carpets that don't respond well to it. Okay, so if you've got a polypropylene, short loop polypropylene carpet, and it's got a fair bit of soiling in it, and you use that system on there, you can get what's called wetback, and it's really common. It was a huge problem, especially in the United States, where they have acres and acres and acres of these big industrial buildings or commercial buildings with this carpet in it, and they were having massive problems with wetback. So
what's wetback?
Wetback? Okay, so what that is there's those soils that are trapped within the fibre, and you can vacuum it all day long, you can't get everything out.
Yeah.
And then you come along and you wet everything out as you're cleaning it, you're still not drawing everything out. As it dries out, anything that's sat there at the base of the fibre is starting to pull back up out of the carpet, because as it dries off to the atmosphere, and the water is dragging that soil up to the top, and then you get this of a haze over the top of the carpet. It just doesn't look too good.
No, I bet there's a few people walking going, I've seen that.
Yeah, well look, there will be, and a lot of people have seen that in their own homes as well, especially when people aren't proficient at doing their job with the hot water extraction. They over-wet the carpet, and then that will happen in a domestic situation as well. But in a commercial situation, a lot of times it was hard to avoid, no matter how well you thought you were doing your job.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was it was the old shampoo method. Once upon a time, everybody knew about the old shampoo method that led to horrible resoiling. It was just terrible. But they redeveloped that chemistry to a chemistry that now, when it does dry out, it doesn't dry sticky at all. In fact, it dries completely dry. The reason that they used to dry sticky because the chemicals, what we called hygroscopic, they would draw moisture out of the atmosphere, so they stayed permanently sticky. And of course, they'd attract soil to them. These chemicals work in the same way when we put them onto the carpet to suspend the soil off the carpet. Yeah. But then as it dries out, it is completely the opposite. It's hydrophilic is what the term is, so it hates water. They don't like being wet. Even though they're mixed with water and they're put down with moisture, all the rest, they actually don't like being wet. So they'll actually dry off faster than a normal hot water extraction chemical will. So it forces itself dry, so to speak, and when it does dry, it dries into a crystalline form, which shatters easily. So what's happening is now your dirt's been taken off the fibre because we scrub it off once again, and it's suspended, it's encapsulated, the fibre's encapsulated as well, and the two never shall meet.
And you just vacuum it off?
You vacuum it out because it's brittle, it vacuums out. So that's when the actual cleaning happens, during the vacuuming process, which is normally done a day or two or even a week down the track. But in the meantime, it still looks fantastic because it's so crystalline.
Yeah.
It reflects light and it makes it look beautiful. It's not technically clean yet, but it will. You'll find that they actually improve over the next half a dozen vacuum cleans because they just get more and more soil out of the carpet and they're actively repelling soil.
Is that right? Well, that's like clever little crystals.
Oh, look, it's a fantastic idea that came out, when was it? Around about the 2000 mark. I can't remember the exact date it came out. But man, it would have made my life so much easier in the early days. We do use it quite extensively, the encapsulation cleaning method, but it depends on the fibre.
I was going to say this because we've talked about different fibres on the show from everything, and so it does actually depend on the fibre whether they're going to work or whether they're going to be inherent. Do they have inherent problems if you put them on the wrong fibre then?
No, because once again you match the chemistry to the fibre you're using. There are a range of different encapsulant products, everything from fine fibres for you doing your fine cottons and rayons and things like that, right through to doing your heavy gnarly polypropylene carpets, and then there's your nylon carpets as well. It's like there's different chemistries for different ones, and you've got to know which one to pick. It's not a one size fits all.
I hope you get like a kind of a grid chart. You just go, oh, that one and go along. Oh, that's the one I need.
No, unfortunately. It's called experience.
It's called experience.
Yeah, trial and error, as I said before, and sometimes the errors just don't go your way, but you certainly learn from them, and having been around for quite a few years, I've put a lot of things to trial, and a lot of times I've actually told people I'm trying a new chemical, would you mind me trying onto your carpet to see how it does work?
Yes.
And look, 99 times out of 100 it works great. It's only been a couple of times it's like, nah, just wasn't happy with that. It wasn't a bad result, just wasn't happy with it.
Right, okay.
And not discontinued that particular product.
Okay, so when you start your carpet cleaning business, there's not a nice little grid chart where we just draw a line down here and a line down there and go, that's what I'm using.
No, because you know what, unfortunately every situation is that little bit different.
Right.
You know, sometimes we actually use those two systems that I just spoke about in conjunction with each other because no system works perfectly. There's just nothing that works 100%. Oh. So if you've got a really heavily soiled carpet that you go in and you do hot water extraction, it's like, just not happy with it. Bring out the encapsulation and do that over the top of it as well, as long as your customer's obviously willing to pay for it because it is an extra cost.
Yeah.
But the results from that can be spectacular.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's, in that sort of instance there, we do two systems on there. Right. Sometimes we'll even use up to 3, depending on what we've got to do.
Now you're talking 3 systems. And we talked earlier, and you said it was not steam cleaning. A few people say, "Oh, come and steam clean your carpets," but that's not quite correct. It's hot water extraction. The other term we hear bantered around quite often is, "Look, don't worry about your carpets being wet because we're going to dry clean them."
That's right.
And I've got images in my mind that I take my shirts and my jackets down to the dry cleaners.
Yes, and that's where a lot of misinformation does come out. I mean, I have seen an ad from one of the dry cleaning companies that say that everybody knows that dry cleaning gets more stains out from normal dry cleaning, etc., etc., and that was their claim to fame there. And it's like, well, you know what I say to that? Starts with a B. I'll let you guess what that might be.
A bit of BS.
Yeah. So even dry cleaners, when they're doing stain removal on clothing, guess what they're using? They use wet chemicals, wet-based solutions, and a blast of steam to get it through, and then after it's dried out, it goes through the dry cleaning process, because dry cleaning only removes about 40% of soil. That's it. Oh. It actually will not touch any water-based soil on any material at all. So if you've had, say, a cup of coffee poured all over you, won't touch it. Absolutely will not touch it. If you have oil on there, it'll take it straight out because it's like, dissolves like.
Yeah.
Okay, but if it's anything that's water-based, a bit of sugar, it doesn't touch sugar in the slightest. Okay,
so they've got to do that separately.
They do that separately, and that's how they do stain removal in dry cleaning, proper dry cleaning.
Proper dry
but the dry cleaning they talk about in carpets, What they're actually using is a low level of moisture. Okay,
Right.
it's known as VLM, or very low moisture.
Mm.
It's still using, guess what? Detergents and water. Okay, so depending on which system they use, there's a couple of different ones, but they put their water-based solutions onto the carpet, and then they put an absorbent pad onto a machine which may or may not be soaked in a secondary solution, and then that's buffed over the carpet, and that pad is supposed to magically draw everything up into it.
Well, that doesn't sound quite like that's going to happen.
Yeah, how's it getting right to the base of the pile? It's not. It's cleaning the tips of the fibres fine.
Yeah.
But once again, it's leaving behind a lot of residue.
Right.
And it's not really getting to a full clean. I remember years ago, I was actually involved with a show with Today Tonight, and we had someone from the Department of Environmental Science at University riding along with me for a few days, sampling carpets before and after, and then with a dedicated dry cleaner. And the results were quite startling. As far as soil removal went, with the average for the dry cleaning was 27% soil removal. The average, the average for the hot water extraction was 74%. Okay.
Wow.
And we're talking about full soil right out of the carpet, not just at the tips. You look at just the tips, the dry cleaner is actually better. Just at the tip, but only for the first top 2 millimetres, that's it. Okay, so it's not a fantastic system. Once again, it was really primarily designed for a high turnover or quick turnover situation. Like say, if you're out in the casino, that you've got to have that place in operation 24 hours a day, you section off this little area, you do it, and then an hour later the carpet's dry and ready to go again. That's where it works. But even the Australian standard, if you look in the Australian standard, it will tell you for every 3 cleans, you must do hot water extraction to remove the residues.
Now, one thing about dry clean, so you're describing a bit. Now, there are, just so people watching, the dry cleaning chemicals that your dry cleaner uses on your clothes are not the dry cleaning chemicals that you guys put into the carpet.
No, well that bonnet cleaning it's dry cleaning. They're completely different. They're water-based solutions. The dry cleaners use solvent-based solutions. They're hydrocarbon, petrochemicals. Okay.
So your carpet will molt after using stuff like that?
Well, yeah, your carpet's not going to be not particularly happy, because with your carpets, if you've got a normal tufted carpet, not with your woven carpets, but with your tufted carpets, there are glues in the back of the carpet. And guess what solvents are going to do to those? Yeah, there's going to be maybe a little bit of damage. And even a lot of upholsteries these days, especially if a lot of people have the macro suede that they look like suede and they're just actually a polyester fibre, but they've got a sheet on the back of it. It's normally a cotton sheet on the back of it to give it a bit of body to the fabric itself, and they're glued onto the back of that macro suede. So guess once again what's going to happen to that? You're going to have this nice baggy floppy lana suede.
Wow.
It's going to look kind of cleaner, because once again it's only 40% of that soil that's removed. So to remove body oils, but if you've dropped your can of Coke on there, they ain't going anywhere. So you'll still have it'll look just a little bit better. The stains will probably still be apparent unless they were oil based, and it'll be nice and soft. But that's about it.
It's going to molt. So totally different.
And plus the chemicals themselves are highly, highly toxic.
You did tell me this once before, that the chemicals going through a dry cleaner, because I went, oh really? But you said by the time they get through the other end, they're completely gone.
Through the other end of?
Out of your clothes, when you put the clothes
yeah. By the time you get them from a dry cleaner, but don't go into a dry cleaning factory unprotected. Because look, those solvents, they're carcinogenic, a lot of them. There were ones that were ozone depleters as well. They were nasty, nasty chemicals. They did the trick, but that just environmentally and from a health aspect, it's just a big no-no. You don't want to be breathing in that stuff while it's around.
So we've got hot water extraction and the encapsulators, you were saying, they're clever little chemicals, those things. And then we've got the, you said it was bonnet cleaning, not
dry cleaning is actually called bonnet cleaning. It's not dry cleaning. Drop that dry out. It's a misnomer. It's a marketing ploy to make it sound like it's dry. Great. It is low moisture and it is quick to dry. But so is encapsulation. Encapsulation is a little bit slower, uses a bit more moisture, but it's still very quick to dry.
Okay.
It might take probably about 50% longer to dry than a bonnet cleaning system. But there is one particular system that is dry. By the time you finish the carpet, it is bone dry.
Oh, so not just like touch dry, you're talking...
We're talking bone dry. So these are a powder-based system. They're called absorbent compound.
Are they the ones on the supermarket shelves I get in a little container I sprinkle on myself?
They're along those lines. No, look, and that's exactly what it is. And normally what they are, they're a corn husk that's very, very finely ground. Oh. And it's impregnated. There's a couple of different types. There's either a solvent-based one, so once again there's absolutely zero moisture, or there's a water-based one, but the moisture level is just minimal. Oh, and this is really just, it's once again, it's really designed for a quick turnover type of situation. It's not designed for heavily soiled carpets. It just becomes so expensive. And there's a lot of agitation involved. So if you've got a carpet that's a bit sensitive to agitation, this is not the system for it. Okay. But there are certain instances that you can use it. I've used it on a silk carpet that was highly sensitive to water, for instance. I was told I had to clean it, but cannot clean it with water. So
now you've told us this before.
Yes, that's right.
Silks just you get nice brown stains and
you got all sorts of things. Yeah. So that was it was a case like I had to use the absorbent compound on that one.
And one thing, when we say silk, we don't actually mean silk from a silkworm.
No, this was silk from a silkworm.
This was silk from a silkworm.
Yes. This was actually true silk. It wasn't just not your rayon, which was what we discussed before.
Yeah. Oh, true silk. Goodness me.
So of course I didn't want to damage that fibre, did I? No.
Unless you got your own silkworm farm.
I've got a mulberry tree, but not going to quite work.
Okay.
But in that instance there, it's like it was a cut pile, fortunately, not a loop pile, because if it was a loop pile I would have been really stuck, because I can only use minimal agitation on silk because it's sensitive to it.
Yeah.
So, okay, what do? I went for the absorbent compound. This one that I had was a water-based one, but that was fine, because with this stuff here, you broadcast it over the carpet and you just scrub it into the carpet.
Yeah. Okay,
and I had a scrubber that was going to do the job without too much agitation, so it's fine. And it did what I needed it to do. And then you literally just wait 30 minutes and vacuum it out. So if it's dry enough to vacuum, it's dry.
It's dry.
Yeah. Wow. So the solvent-based ones are a little bit faster.
Yeah.
They might take only, say, depending on which type they are, around about 15 to 20 minutes max, and they're dry. Okay, but once again, the agitation, that you're dislodging the soil off the carpet, using that little bit of whatever product there is in there to break down the oils, because it's the oils we're trying to get out, the dry stuff out, it comes out easy as. But the oils and any of those, if there's only a small amount of sugar, it will get those up as well with a water-based one, not with a solvent-based one, once again.
Okay.
And then we can brush it off, and then it just traps it within that corn husk, and you vacuum that out.
What's the difference between that and the encapsulating ones, or are they very similar products?
Okay, so the encapsulating one, because it has a lot more moisture, it has a lot more capacity to hold stuff. This doesn't.
Okay.
So if you've got a really heavily impacted carpet, absorbent compound, by the time you pay for all the product and the time you would take to try and break these oily soils down, it's just not worth it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So once again, it's a really specific scenario that you use it in. If you've got something that's highly water sensitive but very durable, like say for instance a sisal carpet, or matting, it's not really carpet, but sisal is extremely, and like underlined extremely with bold capital letters and flashing lights, sensitive to water. Okay, so really? How are you going to clean it?
Right.
You try to do a hot water extraction on that.
A sad carpet.
That's very sad carpet. You can use encapsulation on it if you know what you're doing and you're really careful with it, but it's dicey. Okay.
Wow.
But your absorbent compound will work on it very nicely. Once again, if it's really heavily soiled, but they don't get it that heavily soiled on those normally because they are matting.
Yes.
Okay. But you can use that absorbent compound to great effect on those, vacuum them out, and job done.
For carpet cleaners who are watching, who may not be a member of the Carpet Cleaners Association, which you run here in Western Australia, I suppose the answer is they join the Carpet Cleaners Association, because how else are they going to know and find out all these different systems?
Get some training. Okay, pure and simple. If you got training, you'll be taught these different systems. Okay, I run PRIO training as well, so when I take my trainees through it, I show them each system, and they have a video demonstration and a practical demonstration, so they know how it works.
Yeah.
Okay, so that way you come in, and then once you start understanding the different constructions, the different fibres, the different scenarios you might come across, you can then pick and choose which you're going to use when. But you have to have that knowledge there to be able to start using it. You can't just go, oh, I'll just try this one, and then go, oh, that didn't work so well. Well, that was a sensitive to agitation, and now it's a fuzzy mess. But it was dry.
Yeah.
You know, it's just the wrong chemical for the wrong situation.
Yeah. Does it take people a while to not just learn the basics, but actually then learn the applications?
You don't come out of any training course being 100%.
Right.
Yeah, you need the experience with it as well.
Yeah.
And that's why, once again, with my trainees, I don't give them an accreditation straight after they've said it. You know, they can do their theory, and they sit down, we go through it all, and I show them all and all the rest of it, and they can do their assessments on it, their written assessments on it, and that's all great. We can do a practical assessment on it, but I like to go back 2 months later and hit them with a verbal assessment again and make sure that the knowledge is embedded. And then I say, here's your certificate. Because otherwise I don't feel I've actually taught them anything yet. Unless I know that they know, how can I know that they've actually got to the point where they can use it effectively?
Good point. Yeah. And for people who are going to have their carpets, because there's so many different varieties of carpets out there.
Oh yeah.
How can someone be assured that the carpet cleaner that they've got in actually knows what he's talking about?
You'll have a certificate.
That's what you're going to be looking for?
That's absolutely what you've got to be looking for. I mean, there's a few different training bodies around the place.
Yes.
I'm the only one that does the follow-up training as well,
Yeah.
and that's because I can afford to. I'm here in WA, so I can do it. The other ones are off on the East Coast or international, and it's really difficult for them to do that sort of thing. So they do the theory, they do the examination, and then they give their accreditation.
Right.
But yeah, there's no follow-up there, which I personally think is a better way to go. So yeah.
Yeah. So you should really be looking for someone who's got certificates.
Yep.
Preferably as a member of the
Carpet Cleaning Association of WA. Yep.
And if someone, and I'm sure you've experienced this in the past, there's a lot of organisations will say, just be wary of fake certificates. You know, people fake resumes these days, so they're going to...
Oh, look, there's a lot of people that claim to be members of the CCAWA as well.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we've had a rash of those recently. We just got told of another one at the weekend that...
really?
Yeah, are claiming membership, and they don't actually have it.
Okay. What's the best way, how's the easiest way for someone to check that someone turning up is going, look, I'm a member of Carpet Cleaning Association?
Go to the website. If their name's not on it, they're not there.
So all the names are on
all the names are listed. So even the probationary members, their personal names will be listed, their business names won't. They don't get the business names listed until they've gone through all their certifications.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so they're undergoing evaluation and training.
Okay.
So you'll see the list of all the companies, and it's listed in regions of Perth. So you can actually go through and say, okay, well, I want someone close to me, I'll pick company X.
Oh, brilliant.
Okay, so it's a great way to do it.
Absolutely.
But those people there have done all their training, ticked all the boxes, and they actually have their specific knowledge on that they need to know.
I was going to say, because of the training you do with them, with PRIO training and with the Carpet Cleaning Association training, not everyone is skilled in every type of cleaning, are they?
No.
So you can actually look through and say, well, this person's the right person because they've got the right qualifications.
So once again, each person
Yes.
will have their own dedicated page with their list of specialisations, because like you said, not everybody's the same.
No.
Okay, so you will have, Joe Bloggs will do carpet dyeing.
Yeah.
The other person over here will do restorative services or say flood damage and things like that. Okay, or another person might be more proficient in carpet repairs. They will tell you exactly what there is, and you can actually look at the website itself, and you've got all the different specialisations underneath. You just click whatever it was, and it brings up the names of the people that do it.
You said something then that I will touch on. We're going to a bit of summer now where we are, but there's still rains coming around. Flood damage. Now that's different than just standard carpet cleaning.
It ain't carpet cleaning in the slightest. The only similarity between the two is they use an extraction machine. That's where it starts and finishes.
Right.
Yeah. If you have someone that comes in and says, I'll just suck that bit of water out for you, love, no worries, you've just destroyed your carpet, potentially. And plus floors, plus walls, et cetera, et cetera. The moisture needs to be got out of the carpet and the structure, not just the carpet. Because there's floors, sometimes there's wooden floors, sometimes there's skirting boards. The walls themselves will hold moisture. Everything needs to get dried out. If you don't do the whole lot,
Yeah.
you've actually done yourself a great disservice, and then you've got the chance of mould developing, which is a health issue.
Absolutely.
And if your mould's developed on the back of your carpet's cactus, it's throwaway.
It's throwaway stuff.
Yeah.
So when you're looking for, you've had a flood damage or something like that, that is not the time to be going, oh, get the carpet cleaner because he's got a nice big machine, you'll be able to suck the moisture out.
Yeah, or just think, oh, a couple of towels and a fan are going to do the job. Look, a lot of people think that's fine.
Yeah.
There's been quite a few times where I've been on jobs where the people have said to me, oh, I just soaked it up with a towel, and then, it was 2 weeks ago, but it's got a funny smell now. Yeah, you lift up the back of the carpet, it's like, oh.
Because that water just runs
Everywhere.
Just capillary action just spreads everywhere.
Yeah, but then you've got absorbent materials underneath there.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got a foam underlay. It's like a sponge. It's foam. So it's going to hold a lot of water in there. We need to get that out.
Okay. So when you're looking, so we've got the different types of carpet cleaning, but if someone's now talking flood, it's nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it. Yeah.
And there's actually people who actually specialise in just doing that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Because it takes certain types of equipment as well, which are not cheap.
Right. Okay.
So we need dehumidifiers, we need fans, we need all sorts of carpet laying equipment.
So just your standard extraction in your machine won't.
No. It will pull out the excess moisture, nothing else.
Right.
There's no drying going on. It's the drying that's the most important part of it.
Yeah.
Getting it as dry as possible, as quick as possible. If you got really, at the very most, a 48-hour window. In fact, really less than that, before you start having problems.
Really?
Yeah. If it's wet for longer than that, then you've got all sorts of issues that are going to start coming up.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that, once again, some of the dry cleaning, as they call it, which is bonnet cleaning, not dry cleaning. The franchises were, they say, oh, don't get your carpets steam cleaned, hot water extracted, because they get too wet, and then you get all these sorts of issues happening. That's exactly what they're talking about, and they're preying on the fears of people, because there were a lot of people, there still are a lot of people that overwet carpets, and then they create these problems because their extraction machine or the extracting wasn't good enough. They dumped a lot of water in the carpet to clean it, and then didn't extract enough, and the water has now soaked right through the carpet to the back of it. If you're doing your carpet cleaning properly, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay, you might get the tiniest bit of moisture come through, but it's really just the face yarns that we're cleaning, not the underside of the carpet.
Yeah. No, I'm laughing because remember the story you said in one of the other episodes, you should check it out, where the guy soda water trick and 16 bottles later.
No, it wasn't 16. It was 24.
20.
24 litres, we should say.
24 litres of this soda water, wasn't it? Because he thought that would get it all out.
Yeah, and it didn't.
It didn't do anything.
No. So I had to actually do a water damage restoration.
I was going to say, is that what that led to?
Yeah. And then once I got it dry, I got the wine stain out.
Unbelievable. Franco, someone looking now, obviously for carpet cleaning, they can look on what's the website for the Carpet Cleaning Association so they can find people on that?
So that's ccwa.com.au.
Fantastic.
Okay.
And yourself, if they want to get yourself into do it?
Yep, so we are at facc.com.au, so literally the initials of Fresh Air Carpet Cleaning.
Yeah.
Look us up on Facebook, that's Fresh Air Carpet Cleaning, Fresh Air with an E.
Yeah.
Give us a call, 9493 3880, or the simple old email, info@facc.com.au.
And if someone's had a flood damage, you just said a minute ago you've got about 48 hours, that's something pretty urgent.
Look, with flood damage, it's don't wait. Get onto it now.
So quickest way is perhaps ring you, and if you can't get it, you know somebody that can.
I've got a network of people that I can refer to, absolutely. Yeah.
Best number again to get you?
9493 3880, and that will get you through to the office, and we can get things happening from there.
Brilliant, Franco, absolutely fantastic again. I'm sure people, and check out the website.
Yep, absolutely.
And make sure people have got their certificates and their memberships.
Yes, yeah, and their insurances and their code of ethics signed off and their public liability. They need to have the whole lot. And ABN is actually a really good thing too, because they're not a serious business without an ABN.
True.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Good.
So next time, thanks Franco.
Cheers.